20 million people spread across vast land, a growing middle class, and a prime spot between Europe and East Asia, Kazakhstan is well positioned for aviation growth. But is air travel really taking off? And what might fuel Kazakhstan's rise as a midway hub? Welcome to East-West Connect. We're highlighting business and economic developments in Kazakhstan and the wider Central Asia region, connecting with Europe and beyond. It's been 6 years since Kazakhstan adopted its open skies policy, opening the door to greater global connectivity. The fifth freedom of the air now allows foreign airlines to stop in Kazakhstan en route to a third country. As of last year, the policy covers 15 airports nationwide. Recently, the EU removed Kazakhstan from its aviation blacklist. The country's compliance with global safety standards now stands at 82%, above the world average. It is on par with EU members like Denmark and Poland, placing it first in the Commonwealth of Independent States region. One thing Kazakhstan was missing but is setting up now is a specialized air incident investigation center. It is one of the key safety indicators tracked by the International Civil Aviation Organization, or ICAO. It became especially relevant after the crash of an Azerbaijani Azal Airlines aircraft near Aktau in December last year. Kazakhstan and ICAO are drafting a civil aviation master plan through 2050, covering everything from airport development and air navigation to safety and airline expansion. Within 5 years, the Ministry of Transport expects passenger traffic to hit 26 million, with 200 international routes and a fleet of over 220 aircraft. Last year, Kazakhstan's air companies opened 12 new international routes, including Mumbai, Prague, and Jeddah, with 16 more expected this year, including Rome, Shanghai, and Belgrade. Kazakhstan's aviation sector comprises of the national carrier Air Astana, its low-cost arm, Flyristan, Private Skat Airlines, and Kazakh Air. Kazakhstan is the only country in Central Asia to list its national airline, Air Astana. Now the region's leader by market share and awards is headed by CEO Peter Foster, who shared his insights on the industry's growth. Mr. Foster, welcome.
Thank you.
How do you assess investor sentiment following Air Astana's IPO, and what strategy do you plan to implement to maintain shareholder value?
We have recently announced a very substantial dividend, in fact the largest dividend that we've ever paid, and one of the largest dividends in the airline industry today. And that's a reflection of the strong performance, of the strong balance sheet, of the strong cash balance. The key really is to keep focused on cost and keeping cost competitive, to maximize service levels, to ensure top-class safety standards.
You've outlined major strategic opportunities for growth in the Gulf, Western Europe, China, Korea, and Japan, and India. What would these partnerships entail?
So we're presently in discussions with China Southern in China. We're having discussions with carriers in India. We've recently signed a code share with Japan Airlines for the Japanese market. Other areas in which we can cooperate. In maintenance, for example, here we're having this interview in our hangar, which has a full MRO maintenance capability for Airbus fleet. We've just established a new company, Air Astana Terminal Services, which will provide a range of airport services at airlines in Kazakhstan and perhaps beyond Kazakhstan as well.
Mr. Foster, thank you so much for your time today.
Not at all, thank you.
The government is opening its skies to foreign low-cost airlines such as India's SpiceJet, South Korea's Eastar Jet, and T-Way Air, and Thailand's AirAsia X. Kazakhstan's sovereign wealth fund Samruk-Kazyna oversees major deals involving the country's airlines. Let's take a closer look. Air Astana's value has surged 50-fold since 2001 to over 700 million euros. It became the first Kazakh company to list shares on 3 exchanges, London, Astana, and Kazakhstan, through an IPO led by Samruk-Kazyna. The airline has topped Skytrax rankings in the region for 14 straight years.
In comparison to other grand majors, we are doing quite well. Our EBITDA margin is 26%, which is one of the highest in the sector. Our revenue growth in comparison to 2023 amounted to almost 13%. EBITDA went up 16.1%. These numbers are testimony to the professionalism of our team and the testimony of value which we are creating for Air Astana.
Air Astana has helped open Kazakhstan to global tourism. Since COVID-19, flights to India have jumped nearly 60%, with Almaty now a top destination. Indian citizens now rank among the top 3 foreign flyers, alongside Russians and Chinese.
We have a network of routes which exceeds 70 destinations. We view Air Astana as a catalyst for economic growth in the region because not only we employ more than 6,000 people, we also create value by bringing in tourists in Kazakhstan, developing hospitality sector, and developing business connections between our country and the rest of the world.
Samrukh Kazanai and Air Astana are proud to lead this shift, driving connectivity and positioning Kazakhstan as a key transit hub between East and West. Kazakhstan plans to nearly triple processed cargo volumes to 500,000 tons within 5 years. 6 airports, including Astana, Almaty, Aktobe, Aktau, Karaganda, Shymkent, are set to become key hubs to boost air traffic and cargo capacity. Astana Airport will undergo a nearly €1 billion upgrade by a UAE aviation services provider, adding a second runway, a third passenger terminal, a cargo terminal, and a large airport city with logistics zones, hotels, retail, and freight facilities. To discuss the developments in Kazakhstan's aviation sector, we are joined by the Vice Minister of Transport, Talgat Lastayev. Mr. Lastayev, welcome.
Thank you.
How advanced are the plans to develop an intermodal hub in Kazakhstan, and how would that strengthen the country's transit potential and its role as a regional logistics hub?
Our aviation industry last 5 years shows a absolutely incredible growth. Annually 10 and 15% growth. If we're talking about Almaty, so one of the biggest airports in Central Asia, TAV Group preparing to invest $362 million for further development. It will be a multimodal transportation, track to air. Another big opportunity, Aktau Airport, Turkish company UID, planning to invest more $1 billion to create a multimodal hub.
What will Kazakhstan's aviation sector look like 10 to 15 years down the line?
Kazakhstan aviation industry will grow at least triple times, and it will be very modern, digital, providing an excellent level of the services. It will be hubs for whole region for cargo and passenger flights. Kazakhstan, with our nature condition, with our territory, it will be best place to realize the projects for the drones. In upcoming 5, I think, years, we will see air taxi services. Kazakhstan will be one of the best places for the aviation services and industry, not only in our region, but for the whole world.
Looking forward to that. Mr. Lastayev, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Kazakhstan skies are opening wider. Bye for now, and join us next time on East-West Connect.